Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the digital currency, Bitcoin. But before I start, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for more financial and investment content and give this video a like if you find it useful. Considered controversial by some and incredibly intriguing by others, Bitcoin's relevance in the modern economic climate is becoming more and more apparent. I spent the last week or so researching its intricacies in the hope of finding answers to some of my questions. Questions such as, what is Bitcoin? How does it work? How is it produced? And what are its investment prospects? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency invented in 2008 by an anonymous individual or group of individuals under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. It was the first of its kind to have any kind of success and has since paved the way for a handful of similar cryptocurrencies. But unlike traditional currency, Bitcoin is decentralized, meaning it does not have one owner or one sole administrator. For context, pound sterling is managed by the Bank of England, an institution that controls the currency flow and monetary policy of the UK. The American equivalent of this is the Federal Reserve, you guessed it, controlling the currency flow and monetary policy of the United States. Now obviously cash is a tangible asset, and traditional electronic currency goes through a central payment processor such as Visa or MasterCard. But Bitcoin's a little bit different. It's processed by a large network of private computers, otherwise known as nodes. These nodes are in constant communication with one another and have special software allowing them to log payment information between sender and receiver, ultimately adding this information to something known as the blockchain. The blockchain is essentially a database of transactional information stored chronologically in blocks. As data comes in, a block is filled until no more data can be stored in that block. A digital chain is then linked to the previous block of data, creating a chronological audit trail. All of this data is encrypted using cryptographic keys. This makes Bitcoin transactions virtually impossible to counterfeit, as each transaction is protected by these keys and verified by every computer on the network. Part of this protection is the validation process. The sender sends their private key to the receiver's public key, in the hope of securing a digital signature and timestamp. To verify that everything is as it should be, this transactional information is sent to all other nodes on the network for them to collectively validate. If all okay, this data is added to the blockchain. And in order to complete the validation process, a considerable amount of processing power is required, and this is achieved by something known as data mining. The term mining, at its highest level, can be described as the process of adding blocks to the blockchain. The actual data miner is someone just like you or me, but rather someone with a very powerful high processing setup built specifically for mining Bitcoin. There's a real incentive for someone to spend the time and money on obtaining a satisfactory mining setup, and that incentive is actually Bitcoin itself. For every block added to the blockchain, the miner is rewarded with Bitcoin straight into their wallet. And you could easily compare this to the hard graft a precious metal miner puts in when trying to find commodities such as gold, except a Bitcoin miner's graft is very much reliant on the power of their computer and not the swing of a pickaxe. The miner's reward is 6.25 Bitcoin, a reward that is cut in half every 4 years, and this halving is actually in place because of the ongoing increase in the number of miners. And not only this, but the source code stating that once the 21 millionth Bitcoin is mined, then no new Bitcoin will be produced. And at a rate of one new block every 10 minutes, it's expected that the last Bitcoin will be mined sometime around the year 2140. This makes it similar to precious metals in a way. After all, there's only so much gold that can be found. And much like gold, Bitcoin is becoming a more regular feature in investment portfolios. But what are its prospects? At the end of November 2020, Bitcoin was valued around £14,500. And as you can see from the graph, Bitcoin reached all-time highs at the end of 2017, before losing a whopping 82% of its value in 12 months. However, since then, it's maintained an upwards trend and has just this week achieved new all-time highs. So as you can see, Bitcoin is rather unpredictable. But why has it rallied so much this year specifically? After all, it's gone from a value of £5,000 of Bitcoin at the start of this year to almost 3 times that in just 11 months. There are a few good reasons for this. The first reason, and perhaps the most substantial, is the increased amount of institutional investment. That is, large companies and hedge funds starting to commit more of their capital to Bitcoin. But not only does this drive up prices, it also sparks optimism in the average retail investor, prompting further buyers. Part of the market sentiment is Bitcoin's increasing acceptance as a reliable currency. PayPal recently announced that as of early 2021, users will be able to store their Bitcoin in their accounts and use it as a funding source for any of their 26 million merchants. This is huge news and really highlights Bitcoin's push towards mainstream monetary status. And who knows, surely it won't be long before the likes of Amazon incorporate crypto functionality. The coronavirus has also played its part in Bitcoin's incredible price surges this year. There has been an increase in digital payment needs. The virus is effectively speeding up the inevitable extinction of physical cash and opening the cryptocurrency door to so many new people in the process. These reasons may explain some of the positive price movement in 2020, but where is it heading? This is the question on the minds of many, some of which believe Bitcoin will surpass its current value and reach 6 or maybe even 7 figures in the near future. Others believe it cannot be trusted and will fade away into obscurity. Nobody really knows, and I think that's what makes it so intriguing. If you found this video to be informative, please drop this video a like, and if you fancy it, subscribe to my channel for more financial and investment content. Thanks again for watching. See ya.